Welcome to the Kraken. Today we're talking about mistakes.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I'm going to start this week by addressing last week's video about what I'm calling Kencha-gate. Kencha-gate was about Donald Trump calling a guy Ken and then the guy immediately identifying himself as Chuck. Well, as it turns out, man's name is actually Ken. It in fact says it on the nameplate in my video. Little bit of a mistake. Little bit of a mistake on my part. Now, when you make a mistake like this, you've got some choices. You can pretend like it's not happening. You can get mad at people for pointing it out, or you can come out and say, I made a little bit of a mistake. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. It's important to not be afraid of them, unless you're one of the birds that just returned to Canada. Big mistake. If you need an example of a mistake, just have a look at that horrible Pepsi ad that was run. Or the even worse Coca-Cola ad.
Taste the feeling!
Ha! Ha! Or this tweet. This is a topic that's been on my mind a lot lately. I've been encountering some very adverse responses to mistakes on social media. Not long ago I was interacting with a guy on Twitter. He had made a mistake and misrepresented something. I pointed this out to him and his response was, "What are you doing, man? We're on the same side." And that really struck me. This idea that just because the information I'm sharing is bad for people I don't like, it doesn't matter if it's true, it's okay, I can just tell people about it. That's the wrong way to go about things. It seems to me that in the last few months, something has awoken in America. It wants to be heard. You can see it at the Women's March, you can see it at the pushback against the travel ban. There is something happening. But it's important that you don't allow this thing to fall into the same partisan lane as the Tea Party did. It can't just become a whole bunch of scrabbling and hating everything that Donald Trump touches. It has to be outrage for the right reason, it has to be informed, and above all, it has to be true. It needs to demand factual accuracy, and it needs to demand that their leaders stay accountable to the truth. So it's important that members or leaders of a movement like this know what to do when they make a mistake. Because you have many different choices, right? You can drive past it and pretend like it didn't exist. You can drive it forward and pretend like it's totally true and everybody around you is just an asshole for suggesting otherwise. Or you could admit what happened, own it, get over yourself, and move on. And I believe that ultimately this is where we're going to end up, but I don't think it's inevitable by any stretch of the imagination. You have to pay attention. Don't get hijacked, think for yourself. We here at the Kraken thank you so much for joining us, and as always, be good to each other. You may have noticed that lately I've been doing a lot of videos that could be described as preventative measures as opposed to reactionary measures to fake news, where I'm just trying to get in there and give you the facts about an issue before you have a chance to be taken or fooled by a fake news story. Well, next week we're going to be diving directly into some new information on this recent fake news phenomena, which I feel has been buried over the past week. A lot has gone on. There's been a lot going on in the news cycle, and this story has fallen through the cracks. So that's our focus for next week. It's going to be a good one.